they talk about spiritual things, but it's just day to day to them. They get kind of shy around all the spiritual people. It's quite interesting.
Yeah. Well, my family have always been spiritual. They've always had experiences of the paranormal. As a child, they would tell me stories, and I was just blown away. That just enchanted me, and it almost confirmed as well what I already instinctively knew because of what I'd experienced as a very young age with coming into this world, which is included in the book. My experience of incarnation of my own life at this moment, yeah, it was quite incredible. Yeah, it's always been on the table. It's always been a topic of discussion, and I've just been completely enthralled by the topic, and it's never boring. I love it. My mum has actually seen a UFO. She was a cleaner in a building in Worthing, which is a town along the south coast of England, and she was on like the 9th floor, and she looked out, and where the building is positioned in its location, it's along the South Downs, which is very high hills, and she could see it just hovering. It was a cigar shape, and she called the other cleaners over, and they all looked at it for like 10 minutes, and it just disappeared, just literally vanished in a blink. I've also seen a UFO myself. We was walking along the coast, and there was this big ball of light that actually was recorded within the local newspapers. So it's between Worthing and Brighton. It was just a big orb of light that was just sitting in the sky. And there's been so many experiences myself, and it's just confirmed the paranormal, that we're much more than just physical body. It's always unfolding. Every day is new. There's always new experiences.
Yeah, my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, she was psychic, as they called psychic. It was all, behind the curtain gossip back in the day. You couldn't tell anyone that you were psychic because they thought you were insane. But let's just be straight here. The human brain is a transmitter and receiver, as we all know, of consciousness. But my brother and I, had been staying with them in their house in Felton, Middlesex. And one summer's evening, we were presented with a silver orb about the size of a football that came over in broad daylight. And in those days, you wouldn't consider it to be a UFO. Our family are very understanding. My maternal grandmother was, my mum is, myself, my brother. We were linked with a number of mediums throughout our lives. Mine started with the UFOs and then kind of ended with the psychic exploration. And it's interesting because I think there is a merging of the two. The way we separate them, or they've been contained within their own boxes, like UFOs in that box, cryptids in that box, and psychic phenomena in that box. I think, no. I think this is why the system has done what it's doing to muddy the waters. There's no transparency. So just needed to get out of this wheel of it. It was depressing. And I knew even when I was a kid, after we'd witnessed the UFO, we were 13, I used to go to the library and do a project on UFOs. And on the bookshelf, I think about 3 UFO books in the dusty bookshelves in the library. One was on Roswell, one was on Loch Ness Monster, and there was another one about UFOs. I used to do a project on them, and I didn't realize then at that age. And even my grandma bought me a book called Project Blue Book by J. Allen Hynek, and on the front cover of the paperback was a UFO in the sky. And because I felt attracted to the cover, I didn't understand the book itself, but my grandmother bought it for me. That's what grandparents do. So yes, it's been in the family for a long.
So your grandma bought you a UFO book?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
She
I
did.
love your grandma. What's her name?
Her name was Kathleen King.
Oh,
She's passed over now. She's no longer on this side of life, and she was the one that instigated all of the psychic stuff because she was passing with cancer in a Somerset hospital. We'd gone to see her a week before, and I know when I saw her, I wouldn't be seeing her again because she was more like a mum to me and my brother. And then, of course, a week later at home here in Kempston, laying in bed, waking up and then starting to cry because I knew something had happened. Her voice came in my head and I can remember what she said. She said, "Why are you crying? Why are you crying?" And then there was a silence. And then she showed in my head a picture of her holding me and my twin as babies in her arms. And then around 10 minutes later, the phone rang. She'd passed over. So she had started the ball rolling with the psychic phenomena. And that's where we're at today. So I have her to thank because it was always, shh, don't say anything. And how did you know that, Grandma? And she'd say the fairies down the bottom of the garden had told her. That's what my grandmother would blame because no one would understand back in the day of this phenomena that is now a lot more people are accepting of that because I think they're tired of the system which is controlled for too long and promoting the old ways of don't think this and don't think that. Let's control human thinking, and they're just fed up with it now.
when you said her name is Instigator. She's an Instargate.
Ah,
She's triggered the kin of your family. I don't know how far back it goes before her, but she's,
The
I don't
golden
know.
compass.
Yeah. See, crises to us aren't crises, they're Chris's, they're crosses of the compass. And this is
Yeah.
another thing about death is you come to these crisis moments, and that's the power spot. Whether you pass over or not, that's the power spot, because that's where your will comes in and says, am I going to take another breath, or am I still here? Like, you going to take a breath, or am I still here? That we call this crisis point, because this is where Christ is. That's where you are.
Mm.
Mm.
And so you come into that spot, and then you make a choice, and then you master your compass out again. So then you can keep spinning this golden compass of you. And both of you being twins in the mother, that means you've both harbored in your mothers. So you're 4 sons. Are you kidding me? Wow. Because
It is, isn't it? It's quite strange when you think about it, the odds of that happening.
so you've shared space with another that is not usually done by others by 10 months.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's
It is
amazing when I
amazing.
found out, what are the chances of that? And I believe, as Chris does as well too, in synchronicities and things happening with all of us. And it is exciting because it reminds us that there is design, there is intent, there is some kind of outline. When I do readings for people, and Chris does readings as well, they wanted the future, and we were also considering how strange it is that from a potential future that it hits the particle us and then becomes a wave of memory. But in that future, that is what's interesting, how it can be built upon, how it can be constructed, and how that works is beautiful. We're not sure about the entire mechanics of that. The theoretical aspect is something we're still trying to work on. But I think it's beautiful, when you look at life as it is at the moment and the way things are going, and there's nothing you can do personally about it. And Chris told me this. He said, you can't change the world, but you can change yourself, how you think, how you see it, how you're evolving. Isn't that right, Chris?
It is indeed. And when it comes to twins, I've actually experienced the link where he's had a soft drink and I've been elsewhere at the time and I've tasted it and I knew it was my twin brother. I knew that he was having that particular drink because it was just the taste was just in my mouth. So it was really bizarre. And also one evening my eye was in severe pain. It was watering and I was just in agony. And later I found out that he'd actually been punched. He got into a brawl, but he actually got a black eye that night. And there's many other times where he's either hurt his thumb or his elbow, and I've had the same issue with that particular body part. Numerous occasions where the link has been there. More so for me, I've received it. He hasn't. So I'm at the receiving end, so to speak.
There were some problems, or if he was feeling low or down, or so. Yes, there had been that connection, and I know what he's thinking, a form of telepathy. But we are very different in terms of twins. The same with Chris and his brother; they're very different. It's wonderful how that connection is made, and then you go through life doing his stuff, and then Chris rocks up. And it's like he's a twin, and it's like, oh my God, to the same things and the same subject.
I was reading one of Philip's book and I've heard of his name before. I think with someone that I knew at work had seen him. And it wasn't until I was reading this book synchronicities began. I was seeing lights around the book. I was feeling freezing cold one night. So I started to read the book. And then lo and behold, within that first chapter, he was explaining how he was being healed and he was freezing cold and certain thoughts was happening that I was getting. The need to contact him. It was voices in my head. It was just a pull. It was incredible. I just couldn't ignore it. I just had to email. I just knew it was going to happen. And we met, and it was just a force to be reckoned with. You couldn't. It was meant to happen. The forces were aligned. It was instant click, wasn't it? We just got on so well.
Yes.
And
Oh
we've
my
had
God, it was
other
incredible.
incidents. You named a pet dog the same as I did. It was Prince, wasn't it? So you had a
Yes. Yeah.
Labrador. I had a Labrador, and there
Yes.
was other things as well, wasn't there? That just seemed
Yeah.
to be together.
Connected. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was just strange. Believe in that connection with souls, well, spirits rather. There's debate about souls, but it doesn't matter. We'll just call it souls. The beautiful link, because you go through life and it's very rare that you meet souls who are so pure and so wanting those answers. That connection is beautiful, and it's just wonderful. And I wish that there were more people like that in the world. So I guess you find those that are connected within your soul group, that soul connection, because it inspires you. You know, other people come into your life and they give you motivation, they give you love. And it's really good to know that you're not alone on this journey, because I felt like I was on my own, because not with those within the family and like, but because of the want, the need for more knowledge, for more information, for more understanding of the greater picture of love, of spirit, of eternity, of immortality. What does this all mean? Where am I going? And, you know, sometimes it felt like I wanted to get on my knees and put my head down on the ground and to the angels to say, please, I just give me some kind of understanding of what's going on here, because I can't deal with this. So, yeah, so then all of a sudden, Chris rocked up and that was it.
It will be 3 years this year,
It
won't
will
it,
be
Philip?
3 years, and it
Yeah,
feels like an eternity. It doesn't
it
feel like
does.
3 years at all. It's like, wow.
So that's
Um,
22, 20.
Yeah, yeah. So
What
22.
month?
It was November.
November. It was November.
Yeah.
That's when I met Brandon.
Wow.
November 22. November 22 was a big, yeah, that was when I went really public as well. And so I'm just saying, because,
Ah.
yeah, it's like a calling in of another layer, the rings. It's calling in another ring,
Oh,
another layer.
wow.
Yeah, because
Wow.
Philip's been in the
Yeah.
public longer than both Chris and I.
Absolutely, because before I was just working, and with all the experiences I had previously and still having, I just didn't voice it. I wasn't vocal. I kept it to myself. And even with the things I have in the book, nobody, even some of my family, didn't know to the
Yeah.
degree. You know, I've expressed certain things but didn't go into any depth. This book will kick off for me. It's something that I've put some heart and soul into that I really hope that people will receive kindly, because it's not every day that you're able to express things on paper, for people to read.
But I'm just curious, do you have other trades, either of you, or is this it?
Well, this is it. And it's like it's full steam now with the research and all of it. So before, I've been in a job for 33 years. It was just mechanical. On the sideline, I was doing my mediumship. I then got some contracts with publishers and I was signing contracts. I was the happiest person on the planet. But the big misconception about authorship is like, oh, #1 bestseller, here it comes, J.B. Fletcher. It's like, oh my God, it doesn't work that way. I knew that I was unhappy with my existence. I was unhappy with the way I knew that my life was going. It felt like it was a dead end. And then, of course, I was made redundant, and it was decided that I would do the clairvoyance like in the evenings, and that being my primary work. And I thought, well, we'll give it a go, and then doing my writing and the other stuff as well too. So yeah, it was like kind of like a test of faith. I remember the author C.S. Lewis saying his test of faith was just to jump off a diving board, no matter how you felt. Once you jump and you let go, you're free. And that's what it felt like. There are still aspects within my life where I feel chained or not free, but I believe that in the future things will evolve and work out on some level. So it's kind of like strange. And I never set out to be someone or a voice or an author or a clairvoyant medium or a person who's gone through UFO experiences. I think it's important for me where I am now is to understand on a grander level that this is not the beginning and the end. There is so much more I want from within my heart, within the very spirit, from the essence of my form that knows, and I've seen it like you've seen it and Chris has seen it, the holy grail of it all. It is beautiful. And that question, what are you looking for? What is it that you want? To be told, it's okay, Philip, that immortality is there. Love is never ending, that you don't lose those that you love, you connected with, that creativity is there. Seeing the world as it is at the moment, my God, what a bloody shambles. I've never seen anything like it in all my life. And I think you the same, Elsa, Chris is the same.
So Mrs. King won't leave me alone. The in Stargate, the fact that you keep looking, that's creation. That's a key gate to straight to creation. Because your creation just keeps creating. So you have to keep looking, because there's another second, another ring getting formed, another ring getting formed, the reason that urge to keep looking.
I must admit, I bought another packet of paracetamol to help me with the headache there, but you have to have a sense of humor. I understand seriously what you're saying. It's beautiful.
I'm just, because you're in the womb with your brother and you're in the womb with your brother. I'm finding this absolutely fascinating, because this is your starship in, and you two are connected now and written a book. So the SUNS, or the ones, come together, but you're the ones that understand the layers and can go back and forth through the layers. And now you're sharing in a book together, which is called Eternal Avatar, which is Eve-tar. We believe the word belly of Eve is believe. Belly of Eve.
Believe, yeah.
Believe. Which is where the tar, which is you guys and me, the essence, the star seed, comes through into the Eve-tar.
Wow. That is, you learn something every day, don't you?
So the spin, the eternal, which is what you said, the love you, the constantly looking, that's the eternal. That's the eternal spin, which is Chris's name again, because it's the grand spiral. And then you've got you're the eaves of tar, like you're in tar. It's so
amazing.
It's so cool. So I'll be curious to see what happens with these readers of your book. You're taking them back there through the book, through the journey of the book and the words in the book. You'll be taking them back there. You'll be sharing insights of the book through them. And then if Philip's had this effect on Chris, and then you share it out more. Can you see how cool it is?
Yes.